moved around on Friday, perhaps apart from gold, Angie. What's going on with that?
Interesting, isn't it?
It really is.
Poor gold. It started just after the close of the Asian session. What we looked at was, and I'll share my screen, which was always a good idea. What we had here was a move, and gold, like yen and Swissy and a few other bits and pieces, we were looking at a move and a flight to safe haven. So we saw a really nice strong push up here, up around to the 1817 area, and then as is often associated with a really strong pull out or a strong drop with the S&P or Dow or equities. Was it a case of a bit of a risk-off mode, but is it people now selling their safety, their safe haven, their assets to cover their situation with what they've got in the equity market? And I've got to say, I went back and had a look at the S&P chart, and we just have a quick look at that. I'll just open it up, and every time there is a major move in the S&P down, there'll be a correlating move down in gold as people have to sell to cover their position. So if you go back and have a look at that and correlate that back to a downward move in the S&P, you'll find a corresponding really strong downward pull in gold as well. I have a sneaking suspicion that's exactly what happened with poor old gold on Friday night. But if we look at the US dollar, and we don't often see this, Paul, and it's just bizarre, and it's a really hard one to explain. So the US dollar fell at the same time as gold fell. You don't see that often, do you?
No, so the US dollar valued at the same time that everything valued on it dropped, and that is unusual. This correlation is, you know, it's not like it's a mathematical correlation. It's not like it's an imaginary correlation or an emotional correlation. The value, when the value of what you're valuing and drops, you expect the price to go up. And when it doesn't, it does make you wonder what's going on structurally in the whole market. Yeah.
So what we've done is, and you know, we didn't exceed the previous week's lows at all. We're just in there. So whether gold bounces back up, I was looking at it from a technical point of view, and I've looked at some major moves on the Fibonacci levels. Interestingly enough, where it is sitting and it's bounced from is on the larger move here is the 50% retracement level, and the smaller move is the 618 level, which is exactly the monthly pivot. So I know I've said it once or twice before, gold likes levels, and it's come back and it's bounced from there as well. So at the moment we're sitting here, it's not quite sure what to do. It's right back to almost where it started 3 days prior. So yeah, I think we've got a situation of anything of value has been sold off, and it is being used to cover the the unfortunate situation in the equity market as a result of Omicron. Omicron? Am I saying that? Omicron, yes. So yes, that's where we're at. As you can see, who knows? It's going to be a really interesting week. But that does bring me to my next little friend.
Actually, I thought we might sneak out and do oil and then come and do Lloyd session, and then come back to it, just put a break in the middle if that's okay.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Well, just means that for my recording, there's a simpler, clearer break if that's okay.
Okay, no problem. Well, we'll leave gold to sort itself out next week.
I do have a question for you, Ainslie. So Omicron scared the wits out of people on Friday, and fair enough too. It looks, well, I guess it depends what you're reading, as always. You know, there's always 50 different truths online. It's just one of the parts of it, but looks highly contagious, but not especially damaging from what I'm reading. It's only a little bit. I may well be missing something on that. Certainly seems to attack children, which is going to put the scary god up there. But US has closed its airports. UK has closed its airports. Israel's closed its airports. Be interesting whether that reassures the market on Monday morning, and whether we see some buying here. And if we do, what, you know, or whether the market just goes, nah, we can't have another one of these. We can't deal with another lockdown. Businesses cannot survive it, and the market just continues to move down. Either way, my impression is that the colour of the bar on Monday might give us a pretty good guide to the colour of the bar for the rest of the week. Any thoughts?
My thoughts are, as you said, they don't know a lot about this one at the moment. World Health Organization have come up with some very scant details to start with. I did notice that the South African health minister did say that she just doesn't understand why everybody is overreacting with shutting their borders. However, I think it's like you said, everybody just saying, oh, no, we're not going here again. Delta was enough. So, yeah, I think as more information comes to hand with this particular variant, and because the pharmaceutical stocks all bounce, right? Because there was some of the information that came out, they're not sure how effective the vaccination is against this variant. They just don't know. So until somebody says, look, actually, it's okay, it's nowhere near as bad, I think we're going to be in a state of flux until we get some more information. We know how we all love to trade rumours.
Even if we take a direction on Monday, actual genuine information might make some pretty big differences, right? I think the sentiment will stay the same. After Monday, the sentiment will stay the same until we get actual information to change, and we'll watch that with real interest. Thanks, Angie. We'll be back for oil in a few minutes. Oil, if gold did nothing last week, that is not the case for oil. Before we have a look at oil, let's go and have a look at commodity or currency indexes. Lloyd, are you with us today?
Yep, I'm here. So let me grab the screen. We're certainly in for a good ride on Friday. What's up with the naming? I need to read out about how they actually name it. Sort of wanted to call it variant Decepticon instead of Omicron.
Yeah, it's sorry, mate, you're just breaking up a little bit as you're coming in. It's a bit hard to make it out. Are you asking why they call it Omicron?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to pronounce.
Okay.
No,
right,
that's not the case. I mean, just quickly on that one, the next Greek letter is Nu after Mu, which was the one that was out of South America. Nu was too close to Mu, and they would not actually use the next Greek letter, which was Z.
Ah.
So they skipped over President Xi and went straight to Omicron. There we go.
So there's some political influence in there.
Yeah, they can't use a name that will have any cultural or name cause any kind of offence to any kind of cultures or anything like that. So Nu and Z were skipped over. There you go. I read that this morning.
Nice work. I still think it's because it's too